There are two mountains of the moon in Africa. One here, right here, mountain of the moon. Otherwise, mountain of the moon means Kilimanjaro, means same word. Then there's another mountain of the moon over here, Rwenzori in Uganda. Two mountains in Africa with the same name. They said then that they came from Central East Africa for the simple reason, here will be your equatorial line, 0 plus or minus 0. This is the Persian Gulf, by the way, and this is the Arabian Peninsula. It used to be the peninsula of the Sabians, and of course this is Mount Sinai. Today there's a canal cut here, but the time in which we are talking there's no canal. That's Suez Canal. This was in the 19th century. This is supposed to be the Mount of Horeb in the Sinai Peninsula. Sinai is still a part of Africa again up to January the 9th. I could tell, well, January 9th. I haven't been back since January 9th. I expect to go back July the 31st to make certain that it hasn't gone anyplace. But nevertheless, so that this is the continent called Africa. Alkebulan, Africa, Ortega, Hesperia, all kinds of different names it was called. So that I hope that you would make it understandable. This is the Greenwich line, 0 plus or minus 0. Okay, so that we could have a good understanding. This is the Iberian Peninsula. Today, Portugal will be here, Spain will be here, southern France will be here, so that you will have an idea of it. But, as I stated before, Abraham or Avram was not born until 1675 before the Christian era, or BC. You cannot have an Adam and Eve before you have Abraham. Why? The Jews are the one that introduced the concept of an Adam and Eve. You don't have any book older than your Bible, your Judeo-Christian Bible, whatever version. With the book of Genesis, no other people in the world ever mentioned. And the first Jew is Abraham. You don't have a single, his mama wasn't a Jew. His daddy wasn't a Jew. They said Abraham was the first of the Jews. Your own Bible says it. So then, anything about the beginning of the world must be something he thought of. He had no concept of it. In 1675, the Africans along the Nile were already in their 13th dynastic period. 13th dynasty. I'm not talking about the pre-dynastic period. Are we to say that the Africans here had no concept of religion before Abraham was born? When Abraham was born here, in the city of Ur in Chaldea, this Chaldea was already a colony of these Africans. These Africans calling themselves Elamites. E-L-A-M-I-T-E-S. So that even Abraham was born at a time when the Africans was controlling the state where he was born. I know that in the university you're learning all of this. I'm just trying to refresh your memory. Now, when the book, furthermore, the book of Genesis isn't written when Abraham is born. It isn't written until 700 BC at the Sanhedrin, when Jewish scribes decided, and they did not even write the book of Genesis as the first book. They wrote the book of Exodus as the first book. But it looks silly to say that people are running from a place and they're not born yet. So at the council of Jamia, they changed Exodus and replaced it with Genesis, the same thing they did with Luke and Matthew. Luke was the first book in the Christian Bible. But it looks silly talking about to a woman a child would be born in the first book, and in the second book to a virgin a child would be born. So they had to switch these two. They've been switching all over the place. But it's not been new. But what was the switching? The switching was to remove a certain people from here. A people called Africans. Your people and mine. And it came about in the year 325 AD, when a Roman emperor, Rome, right here, by the name of Constantine, you see, decided that Rome, which was warring, Rome, which had been scourging the earth, Rome, which had been raping anything female, Rome, which had produced nothing but a scavenger nation that would go and take anything they could at the case of murder, was able to convince the early Christians. By the way, they had not taken on the name Christian until 212 at the Council of Antioch. Antioch is the first time people start calling themselves Christians. Jesus is supposed to have been dead 212 years before the first Christians. Jesus himself was never a Christian, because you can't be a follower of yourself. But it was not until that council that, I know that you're taught that in your Sunday school. You're taught very good things in your Sunday school. You must be. You're getting 10% of your earnings. You should get some.